So this is the actual parking area for those picking up passengers from the domestic airport. Up there was the parking area for rent-a-cars. So the domestic passengers can pass here and they can go here and look for the cars that's waiting for them. So it's quite organized now. So they can come out from there. There's a walkway here when I'm walking, and then they can look for the cars that's waiting for them. So that's the situation here in the airport if you are waiting for arrivals. So this is inside the domestic airport. I'm looking for the restroom. I'm waiting for my friend to arrive. Tempa, uy. Okay. They just landed, he said, so he can get my text. But I have to look for the restrooms, you know. Duty-free, kabugay, nalanding na. So this is the restrooms. So there's a time zone for children to be amused, but they're not allowed as of the moment. Just use the restroom. So this is what you're gonna see on the domestic arrival. It has already looked good, clean up. There's a lot of food places aside from the duty-free Philippines, of course. That's already here. It's really clean and improved. I could remember before, this is the waiting area for the passengers, waiting for passengers, I suppose. It's really looking clean and organized now like it was before, because when Olby visited me for the first time, his flight was so delayed. Everyone is already out of the plane and he was still waiting for inside because he didn't realize that you need to come out to meet the people that's meeting you. They're not going inside the airport. But I think it's changed now. You can actually go inside the airport and wait on the waiting lounge, because I'm actually inside here on a covered space. Like 24 years ago, it's not a covered space. You're actually waiting across the airport on another building. So there's a road in the middle that all the cars will pass through. So the passengers are now going out. So this is the scene on the departure area in domestic airport. And you can see it's very clean and it's improved a lot. So from the arrival, I'm now taking you here on the domestic departure. As you can see, there's a lot of shops, of course, for souvenirs and food, and check-in counters. You just see the sign, Shakey's, and this is the frontage of it. So it's amazing. So this is just the domestic airport. The international airport will be on the other side. And you can see how clean. And they're trying their best to give the airport its international look. Look at this, the Bagakay Point Lighthouse that I on my latest video. It's there. And all of this you can see in the domestic airport. Of course, the other check-in counters are over there. And your taxi will just be dropping you off here because they're only allowed to stay for 2 minutes. Ana lang kaga, kaya ako sangkuan sa front. So obviously, you can remember the ones who've been here in Cebu, waterfront hotel and casinos across the domestic airport. So this is how it looks like outside. This is how our domestic airport look now. But if you go there, that will be on the right side, will be the international airport. You can actually walk there from the domestic or take a bus. There's a bus that come here before every 5 minutes to take you to the international airport. And all these people waiting are the porters that will help you with your luggage if you are loaded so much. Of course, for a fee. Wala na ba yung mga international flights? So now I'm walking. So now I'm walking towards the international airport. Like I said, the international airport can be found on the right side if you're facing the domestic airport. So it's now separated. Before it's all in one. Now they have a big parking space right there. And obviously, not a lot of international travel is happening right now here in the Philippines. So it's mostly concentrated on domestic travel. So from here, like I said, you can just walk over. If you have a mistake in stopping in the domestic, you can just walk over here towards the international airport. I think na international flights, no? Mungutan na kuno ta. Sir, wala na gid international flights? Oh, sige. Direct kanang direct ba wala gid siguro, no?
Singapore or Hong Kong.
I was just trying to ask him if there's any international flights like where the OFW is riding on, but I don't think
We will have our picture taken inside.
Yes.
How they pronounce Koponwe? This is designed by the renowned architect.
Oh, Kobonpue. Kenneth Kobonpue. So, yeah, this is designed by this popular Cebuano designer, Mr. Kobonpue. And it's using a lot of the Filipino materials, incorporated, of course, to make it more sturdier and strong. And it's just highlighting the Filipino materials. So this is the vicinity of the international airport. And I don't know if they have any international arrival at all. But you can see how our airport looks like here for those who haven't been to Cebu, the locals and foreigners alike. But this is now well organized as far as we are concerned, because we already know what it is like before when the domestic and the international flights are all housed in one, which is the domestic airport. And you can already see the difference, even though it's not, of course, it's very quiet, it's pandemic, but us Filipinos that's been living here, Cebuanos likewise, know how crowded it was before the airport was being built. Ma'am, wala na dyan international flights? Na? Panagsaran, ma'am, no? Oh, sige, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Salamat, ma'am. So, the lady just told us that there is sometimes, once in a while, there is international arrival. But for like OFWs and those resident foreigners here in Cebu, they arrive here. But all departure only happens in the domestic airport, none here. So that's why it shows how quiet it is. Pahuway sa diya, kaya ako lang. Okay ra? Okay. I was telling Sen that he can rest if he don't want to walk around like me. But I will just give you a glimpse of what's the frontage of the international airport. And then you will have an idea what our airports here in Cebu look like. So you can see before we have international departures on this side, but it's not happening right now because of this pandemic, and departures only happen on the domestic. So you can see it's dead. The airport's just newly built. I don't think they even have recovered their expenses on it, and this is happening. So there, they do have arrivals once in a while, international arrivals, and that's it. Sometimes in one day, they don't. So everything is so quiet and dead. Look, just nothing at all. So the arrivals is happening here, and upstairs is the departure, which is all close because none of it is happening. And this is supposed to be all the rent-a-cars that you can hire. Or this is the taxi lane as well. On the right side on the post you can see rent-a-car, white taxi, yellow taxi lane. But it's all very quiet. So today there is an arrival, Hong Kong, Singapore, Dubai. So there is arrival.
Travel and nap.
Nap and shower is also available here, that you can have a quick nap if you are just waiting for your flights. You're coming from different islands and have your shower up on the top. You can take that elevator to avail of that one. And like I said, a big ample space, and they will also making another parking space on the left side, but it's all stopped because of what's happening. So what you're looking at here, that's the bus. This is the bus lane that you can hire if you don't want to pick up the taxi, which is on this lane. The yellow taxi, the white taxi, which are metered, and the yellow taxi is the airport taxi. This one, the white taxi or the black taxi, is metered. You could always hire the bus. This is the bus lane, and they come here. They got schedules like 25 pesos, but depends on your destination, because that will take you to SM City Cebu, where all the different taxis you can hire and all the other public transport. But this is the area that you will go out from arrival to hire taxis and buses.